Welcome to Theater Crafts. I'm so glad you're here with me today. So if you're watching this the week I'm releasing, this is the week that Wicked Part 2 is being released. And so I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a couple of Wicked crafts. So I did one last week. I've got another one today. So this one is kind of a riff on one that I did a while ago where I took and made flipbooks. So today we're making flipbooks that are Wicked inspired. So let me just kind of show you what this is. So it's a book that you open it up and you can use this maybe as an autograph book. You can use it, as for recipes or a guest book, or for if you go to see a show, you could put some pictures of that particular weekend or the show with your friends or whatever. Here's the one that we're going to make today, and look at that. I mean, it's got just such really fun Wicked elements to it. So today we're going to make flipbooks with a Wicked theme. All right, let's get crafting. Okay, so we're going to start with chipboard. So the chipboard is the hard kind of cardboard that we're using as the foundation for the cover pages, the outside of the book. And then I've got these Wicked stickers that I just got them on Amazon, and there are all sorts of different stickers inside here. So these will make a great kind of decoration for the outside of the board. And we've got some vinyl. This is, something you could use in your Cricut, for example. Some tape that you'll use, different types of tape. You could use glue stick as well. And here I have a bracket that you can use to put in that identification, like notes or journal or something like that. So remember, we have 4x6 index cards here. So I'm making the book board 1/4 of an inch larger on each side. So it's 6 1/4 on one side to make it a little bit larger. And then on the other side, it's 4 1/4. So I use my X-Acto knife and I just kind of score that several times. And then once you'll see, once you go through several times, you'll be able to kind of flip it over, and then you'll see in a moment. Here we go. Just flip it over and then just use your X-Acto knife to cut right through the back there. And then we're going to take that and we're going to again do the 4 1/4 here. And so you can see here, just mark that and then score that. And having a metal ruler here is really helpful so that you can really get a nice kind of straight line while you're scoring. There you go. There's your cover. Now in this particular case, I'm using a Cricut vinyl, but you could certainly use paper as well. And so I'm cutting, if you notice, I'm cutting the vinyl a little bit bigger than the actual board itself. And that's so that you can wrap it around. And so I will give it about 1 inch or so on each side and take the vinyl off. See the background, the vinyl off, the backing, I mean, and then put that book board right on the vinyl. And you really want to make sure that that is secure. So use a brayer of some sort or a scraper. I have a Cricut, like my little brayer here. And then you're going to cut corners just to reduce some of the bulk in that area. And then this couldn't be easier. You literally are just going to fold those sides down, and you really want to make sure that they are nice and adhered. So you'll see I'm kind of pushing it into the side there, and then just making sure that I get any of the air bubbles out. And now you can start decorating the front. So I've taken another piece of vinyl here and I'm just kind of rounding the corners. This is a corner punch, and it just kind of gives it a little bit of a professional look. Okay, so here we are. I'm decorating the cover of the book, and I love to do the front and the back cover. And it's really about like what you like for your design aesthetic, what images, or in this particular case, stickers, really appeal to you, and being able to put those in a way that would give the look that you're going for. Now, I'm going to be honest, like you just saw there, sometimes taking the backing off the sticker is the hardest part. Look at all the different options too for stickers. I actually really love this, but it doesn't have to be Wicked. You could make a book about anything. It could be cats or flowers or whatever interests you. I just love being able to use these for like I said, autograph books or memory books or picture books, whatever inspires you. And this sparkly paper I love, and I'm going to use it for the inside cover, but I thought it'd be really cool to put flowers. So I just have this paper punch. It's a flower punch, and I thought it'd be fun to put this on the outside, just to have pink for Glinda. And here I've cut two pieces, the exact same size as the index card, so 4x6. And you see here I'm I'm kind of rounding the corners just to make it look a little bit more professional on the inside. And so this will be on the inside of the cover, both at the front and the back cover. And you can see there just being able to kind of glue that down. You can just use a glue stick, you can use a tape runner, whatever works for you. I chose to use a tape runner for mine just because the glitter paper is actually quite stiff. And so I think the tape runner is nice and sturdy, this particular tape runner. So I put a lot of tape on it just because I don't want it to come off, and really make sure that that is secured down onto the bookboard. And here I'm just showing that I also decorated the back cover. So you see here I've got the green paper and I put the sticker on top and the pink flowers as I did on the front as well. So now we've got the front and the back cover both decorated. Now we're going to make it look a little bit more professional by adding these book corners on it. And I'm using my E6000. And it's a little off camera here, sorry about that. But I put the E6000 on a paper plate and just used a toothpick and put the E6000 inside the book corner. You can see where then I'm putting it right there. And then, you could probably use a hot glue gun too. You just want to be careful. The book corners are metal, so they get very, very hot. Once you put all the book corners on, you're going to take just your pliers here and you're going to just clamp them down just to make sure they're nice and securely affixed to the corners, and then just let the glue do its job. Because you know me, you know I like the sparkles. I thought I'd add some rhinestones in the middle of the flowers. But I only did that on the front because you don't want to put it on the back, because if people are writing, it would make the back uneven. So I just put the rhinestones in the middle of the flowers in the front. But look how sparkly they are. I love them. Now, in my case, I made a template so I would know where I wanted the holes to go in the index cards. And you can use, like I said, here a hole punch or a leather punch I used. So you're going to use that same template for the outside of your book, your Flipbook book. So it's a little hard to see it's a little off camera here, but what I did is I put the template down, and then I wanted to make sure that I marked where the holes are going to need to be for the outside. So use a template. It's really important. So you can see here I'm marking the holes so I know where to punch so that it lines up. Now here I'm using a leather punch, and I have to say this thing is amazing. So you just hardly any pressure, and it creates a hole in there. And then it's going to actually put the rivets in there as well. So you basically just punch that hole right in, and then it's all set for the rivets. And you see that there's a right side and a wrong side. So in the leather punch, you have to kind of twist the punch, and then you're going to put the pretty side out, and then you push it, and look at that. It's like magic. And it sets it in there for you. And it just makes it look so much more professional. I love this. And see how that looks? It just looks so much more professional. And then basically you're going to take, these are the book clips. And I got these, they're at Staples. You can buy them on Amazon, anywhere. And you're just going to just thread them through. It's a little off camera here, sorry about that. And thread the back one through there as well. We'll be on camera again in a second. There you go. And then just kind of flip that together. See how that looks? And then you put the other one in as well. It really, one of the things I love about these book clips is that you can flip it open, and it really gives you a lot more flexibility when you're writing, especially autographs or things like that. There you go. Look at that. And if you know me, I can't just let it go. I have to have more. So if you look at the example there that I have, just kind of some beads. I just thought it'd be really fun to have some beads on there. So I'm just taking, this is monofilament. You can use fishing lines, anything for, jewelry making. I find it easier to tape the end down so that I'm not losing my my beads all over the place. And I've got kind of just a little jump ring here. And so I have these green and pink beads I got for the jewelry making that I did with the Wicked inspiration. And I just took any colors that I found were kind of inspired by the alphabet and Glinda characters. And I'm just going to put together kind of a little dingly dangly thing that will be on the edge of the booklet. So obviously it's good to have a plan. So I kind of put beads out that I thought I might like, and just threading the beads onto that monofilament and going, I decided I wanted to do kind of alternate between the pink, green, and just kind of the crystal clear, just for variety's sake. And just kind of threading them on. I don't know if you can hear, my kitty is purring, and she's so loud right next to me. Anyway, so put the beads right on there. And I think sometimes the hardest part is getting the monofilament into that the bead hole. Now, in order to make this sturdy, I actually am pulling the monofilament, I'm skipping the bottom bead and pulling it back up through the other beads, and that's going to keep it from coming undone. So you got to kind of thread it back up through all the other beads, and you can see that I'm doing that here. And then both ends will be up at the top, and that way you can tie that off. And then I will take that monofilament and I will put that through the jump ring at the end there. I decided I didn't like that bead, so I kind of changed it out. Here, see, and there we go. It's a little dangly that you can have on the end of your book. And see, now I'm just tying this off. Now I tie it 3 times. You really want to make sure that you're tying that nice and securely so that it doesn't come undone. And then you'll see I'm actually going to tie that onto the jump ring here. And then that jump ring, which likes to jump right out of my hands, that will attach to the book ring that we've got already on the book. So see here, tie that right off, and then look at that. How fun is that? I want to leave it a little bit looser than I had there, but then just disconnect that and put that jump ring right on. Look at that. Isn't that fun? I just thought that would be so fun to just have some just kind of sparkle added onto the books. And that is it. That is the whole book. How cute is this? Look at how wonderful just the elements come together, and you really get the sense of Glinda and Elphaba in here. And this is a book you could have if you have, I don't know, a Wicked viewing party, and be able to sign like all of your thoughts about the show or anything like that. I just love these. I hope you try it. I hope you go to see the show, and let me know what you think. Which one do you like better, the pink one or the black one? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you next week. Thanks so much. Bye.